Welcome back to the halftime show with your hosts
Sir.
Jordan and Josh. Now, Josh, football first. I was surprised because
we haven't talked about football like last two videos, I think.
Yeah. So
But,
what's new?
But so far, there's been a lot of signings. But most recently, we've been asking the question if Lamar's going to stay in Baltimore. So now that they signed Odell Beckham Jr. to 1 year, 15 mil. Could be turn out to 18 mil once it's 3 million incentives depending on how much he plays, what stats he put up.
First of all, it caught me off guard because I was like, Odell going into
Right, and him and Lamar FaceTimed after, so I'm pretty sure Lamar's gonna stay in Baltimore.
What was he prior to that?
Odell didn't play at all last year,
He was
but
a free
before
agent.
that, he was a free agent last year. He was also injured with a torn ACL he had in the Super Bowl after putting up that touchdown with the Rams. He won. Hasn't played in over a year, and he's returning this year with the Ravens, which desperately need a wide receiver one. Having Rashad Bateman on the side, Devin Duvernay, and now having Nelson Aguilar and Odell. I might give them depth, but at the same time, what's that going to do for Lamar?
Right.
Odell doesn't play 1 year, and that's it. He's not going to be on the same team for 2 years. I doubt it. Odell got paid before he did, and he's been on the team for a long time. The Baltimore Ravens receiving core,
Yeah.
in receiving yards, catches, and first downs, they've been last. They've been ranked last the last 3 seasons since 2020. So every year their receiving stats are always the last of every team. Recently, the Lions trading Jeff Okudah, their corner they drafted in 2020 with the 3rd round pick, to the Falcons for a 5th round pick for this year, which the draft is almost in 2 weeks. I think it's gonna keep happening until October. People getting signed, traded. Well, the draft is also April 27th is the 1st round.
Okay.
The 28th is the 2nd, the 3rd round. And then the 29th is 4 through 7. So that's pretty much for the NFL, plus the other signings.
So not NBA.
The NBA, it's playoff time.
Playoff time.
Right. And it's Sunday was the last day of the regular season. Dallas Mavericks did not make the playoffs. Kyrie and Luka did not even play the last game.
How does that make you feel, Josh? You wanted to see Kyrie exceed?
I wanted to see. Kyrie did good this season, but it's Luka. I feel like there's no leadership in that team right now. And after losing Jalen Brunson last year to the Knicks, they've just been falling apart. So the playoffs pretty much, for the play-in, it's Miami and Atlanta for the East. The winner plays Boston. The loser of that game will play Toronto against Chicago. And the winner of that game will play Milwaukee. For the West, we have Los Angeles Lakers and Minnesota. Whoever wins that game will play Memphis in the 1st round. And then the winner of New Orleans, OKC, will play the loser of the LA-Minnesota game. The winner of the New Orleans and OKC will play the loser of Lakers, Minnesota, and they'll play the Nuggets. Before we talk about that, the Lakers against the Timberwolves, the Lakers are going to win that game.
Yeah.
Yes, because the Timberwolves last game, their center, Rudy Gobert, threw a punch at his teammate.
Okay. He got a little feisty.
He's suspended for a game, so he's not playing that one game.
Wow.
And then another player, he got angry. He punched the wall and fractured his hand. So he's out indefinitely.
Wow.
And it's the playoff time.
How you rage quit immediately? That's so crazy.
Yeah. And so that's Jaden McDaniels.
Yeah.
He punched through the wall. We showed a video of it. That's crazy, bro. And during the playoffs, you're gonna do something like that. Well, it was also the Rudy Gobert threw a punch. Yes, and then also the fight yesterday between Rudy Gobert and Kyle Anderson. And then also another fight between the Clippers. Well, they didn't fight. They just had an argument.
Okay, it could have escalated though.
Right.
Okay.
But no one got suspended for them. It was more Miles Plumlee and Bones Highland. But that was a little scuffle. The Rockets fired their head coach after having a 22-62 season. 22 wins, 62 losses, so they fired their head coach.
Can we say again the ratio? What was it again? 22
to 62. That wasn't the worst record this year.
Oh.
The worst record was the Pistons with 17-65. Pistons had 17 wins and 65 losses this year. Okay. So they're obviously the number 1 pick, 42-year-old Udonis Haslem retires with the Heat after 20 years with the team.
Yeah.
And he scored 24 points, the most points he's ever scored since 2015 in the last 8 years. Because also in the last 6-7 years, he's been running the bench. Also for the Lakers this year, for playoff time, they signed 2 veterans. They signed 12-year veteran Tristan Thompson, a center, and a power forward, and they signed Shaquille Harrison. For the Pelicans against OKC, Zion Williamson doesn't seem like he'll return anytime soon. Maybe until the 1st round, if they make it that far. which I think they can. If Lakers beat Minnesota, I think New Orleans could beat OKC and Minnesota. For the actual playoffs, like, matchups that we have for sure.
Yeah.
For the East, we have Philadelphia against Brooklyn. And we have Cleveland against New York.
Ooh.
The Knicks. So
who's going to have that game?
I say for Philly and Brooklyn, Philadelphia's definitely going to take it. 100%.
Okay.
One, because Brooklyn they don't really have any stars. Like, they have Mikal Bridges, but they don't have Kyrie anymore. They don't have Harden. They don't have Kevin Durant.
How have they been doing in the leagues, though?
I mean, they've been staying solid. They stood in the 6th seed the whole time.
Okay.
But they have a lot of young guys who will put up great numbers and put up wins. Philly and Brooklyn, I'm definitely taking Philadelphia. Cleveland, New York, it's gonna be a close one, but I think Cleveland's gonna take it. Only because Donovan Mitchell has something to go for.
I talked highly about him, saying he's MVP material.
Right.
So,
and 100%. Shit, he put up 71 points in the game this year. 71 points.
Wow.
Remember? That was crazy. Talking about Jokic. So he's on pace to get his 3rd MVP 3 years in a row. And a lot of players are mad about that.
Because he keeps going?
Because he keeps getting it.
Okay.
And it's like...
Well, we get better.
Right, but it's like... They say it's like the league's not the same anymore. They're just making excuses, but like this year he might not get his 3rd. Joel Embiid might get it from the Sixers, but Jokic is number 2. Like
The
he's right
league's
there.
not the same anymore. Do you really think the league's not the same anymore, Josh?
Obviously not as back then, but also like no one's putting up numbers like Jokic. He's number 1 in his team.
So
the Denver Nuggets, they've been the 1st seed for like in the West for them mad long already. You know,
because of him.
Because of him, and like. Jamal Murray is a great player, but he doesn't play as many games as Jokic does. He doesn't put up points as Jokic does. He doesn't put up rebounds, triple doubles, triple doubles as a center. So I definitely think Cleveland with that one. Especially because Donovan Mitchell was supposed to sign with New York during the offseason, but he went to Cleveland instead and got a bag. And then for the West, we have Sacramento and Golden State. It's going to be a good matchup. Curry, Clay, Kings have the number 1 offense this season. Some people say they have the Kings going far, but I think the Warriors in the playoffs are different. And
they just go hard?
Yeah, and especially with Wiggins coming back. He's been like practicing a lot more recently, which is good. After that, his dad, he's going to come back, and I feel like he's going to put up. I'd say the Warriors win in Game 6. Like I said, they win Series 42. And then the most intriguing matchup for me will be the Clippers and the Suns. Even without Paul George, I think Westbrook and Kawhi Leonard. It might be a Game 7, 100%. I feel it's gonna be like all the way Game 7. But it's like I think the Clippers gonna take the last game. Kawhi last shot.
Oh, the other one's gonna go all the way.
Yeah, no, like Game 7. I don't think they go all the way until they have Paul George back. But if they have Paul George, they definitely have a chance because playoff P is different. KD and Devin Booker, they're different too, but they've only played 8 games this year. Kevin Durant only played 8 games for the Suns, and he played like 39 for the Nets. He played 47 games this year, and he was also the first player in NBA history to put up a 56% field goal percentage, 40% from the 3, and 91.9 in a free throw percentage. First player in NBA history to do that.
Ooh, okay. That's pretty much it for the week?
Pretty much it for the week. Until next week, we have who is going to be 7th and 8th seed on both conferences.
So, who do you think?
So, I think it's going to be 7th, it's going to be Lakers, and 8th, I'm going to take New Orleans.
Okay. Well, we'll see next week if that will happen.
100%.
Catch you guys next week.